There you go.
And I found it amazing that Councilwoman Baker's derogatory statement when she stated, and I quote, if anyone votes for this motion, they don't give a D-A-M-N
Right.
about this city was left out of the minutes. And I know
That's what she said.
that
Yeah,
Ms.
you're
White
not-
is a good lady. I voted for her to become our next city clerk. So I know this must have been a mistake because she made it known that I walked out. So I want to know why was Councilwoman Baker's derogatory statement excluded from the minutes. Matter of fact, I don't even want to know. I'm just asking that you please put it in there. Thank you.
The first meeting is a special meeting on February the 5th. We have a motion.
And it's fine. Regardless of all that, we're gonna go ahead and keep it real. It says that he must report the findings to city council. That's what it says. Even if you're saying that, oh, Mr. Pill, I understand. Even in that, they say he must report the findings to city council. So I like the wording to stay intact. That's what it says. Y'all looking at it just like I am. Read it to me again.
No, you're talking about B, is what
I'm
you're
talking about
talking
me, yes, sir.
about? Yeah, but that's what it read originally. City council's crossed out and now it says city manager.
But what I'm saying is that I think we should leave the language. just
Like,
as-
you think it ought to come back?
We shouldn't even miss
City
it.
council.
We
I'm
should
not
let
sure
the
it's
language-
even you could do that. Scott?
I would offer that really what you wanted to do is the findings should go to the city manager, and who shall handle the disposition and report his findings. Handle it this way and report his findings to us. This was put in, if I remember correctly, the discussion had to do with the fact that investigations of employees have to be covered by the personnel manual. They're not covered by Article 4, they're not covered by rules of censure or anything else. So that's why this was put in there, but I think what I'm hearing is that we'd like to know if there's investigations of what happened. So I think if you say, leave the language in there, and just add, we shall handle this issue matter pursuant to our appropriate law and let us know. Is there a problem with letting us know what you did with the investigation? To the extent that you can reveal it. You know, we're not telling you you can't violate the law, you can't let stuff out.
Lauren, refer to you on that.
There was an issue, I had an investigation, here's how I handled it. Zoom. Within whatever the law says you
I
can
think
reveal.
it would be legal for the manager to report a summary to him.
Right,
That's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine, and he don't need,
so it should read, and I have the floor, to report the findings of investigation to the city manager, who shall handle the disposition of the matter pursuant to the city personnel manual or other appropriate North Carolina law, and provide a summary report to council.
it's good.
That's all. Is that a problem? Now, the issue's gonna be this. Every time he has an investigation, he's gonna turn around, write a report, and hand it to us. You guys are gonna read it. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, because we have no authority. But if that's what if Mr. Brooks thinks that he needs to see all his reports, have at it.
What does C say? 2115C.
That has to do with the city attorney being investigated.
Does the city attorney law?
Yeah. I like the wording. I like that wording, and I think that was perfect. Now, you gotta understand, you're not tying your hands on city manager, because it's here. You can only tell us what you want us to know. We won't see the report.
And we can ask for it anyway.
Yeah, you can ask for it. You can tell us that, I find no flaws in the report, and it might be flawed. We're not gonna say, okay, show it to us. We just want to have some update on it. You can say, well, I looked at the report, and according to the policy or law, I didn't find improprieties. Or you can say, I found improprieties that I wish not to.
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. I mean, I just want the wording in there.
Okay. We've got about a half a dozen changes we'll talk about here. What do you want to do with this time? Table to our next meeting.
Move to table action on this item until the requested change has been made by staff
Second.
to our next meeting.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Under E, adoption of amendment to city code. Yeah,
That I saw Mackie table.
table as well.
G.
The next item is the items, first item we pulled off, consent agenda, item F, Board of Community Support Grant, amount of $1,000, College Alamo Foundation. Oh, yeah, right, I'm sorry. Remote participation in city council. Dawson, why don't you walk us through that?
Yeah, this particular item was brought forward by staff because of a great deal of interest statewide of whether or not members of the city council or board of county commissioners should have the availability to remotely participate in city council meetings. As stated in the memo the staff provided you, North Carolina is unclear on this particular item. Included in the write-up, we did provide you a copy of a very detailed article written by Freedom University School of Government that addresses this issue. Matter of fact, today staff attended a webinar where she spoke concerning remote the open meetings law and remote participation. Staff has developed a proposed policy to allow remote participation. It can only be used if a council member or family member is ill. They must notify the city clerk 24 hours in advance that they want to participate by remote electronic purpose. The city clerk will notify the other members of the city council. Remote person cannot be counted in the form. You still have to have a legally constituted meeting here in the chambers. That individual cannot cast a deciding vote. We would not allow remote participation in any quasi-judicial hearing or in any closed session. That's what you have in front of you right now.
Brooks?
It appears to me that listening to what the city manager, what he just read, it seems like right back when they mean that if a family member is sick, you know, so if I'm home and I tell you my family member is sick, how you gonna check that? I mean, I say my family member is sick.
Well,
You know,
you're on your honor. I mean, if you say you're sick or a member of your family's sick, it's up to you. The only thing we're requesting is you notify the city clerk 24 hours in advance, and the city clerk will notify the rest of the city council members that you will be participating remotely to the meeting.
and I read out to me, if we can just, I don't know how it came up, but we need to stick with what we have. It's been working. We need to stick with what we have. We don't need to, it's been working for us. So there needs, no need to change something that's been working. I mean, we haven't had a situation where we have to go through those drastic meetings. Since the council, since I've been on council, I haven't seen it. So I find it comes up now. I think we're good without it either. With the council vote majority, just go ahead and do what I think is fine. Don't have my vote.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I find it amazing as well. This comes up now. The mayor was sick at one point. It didn't come up then. And I think the health of our mayor is just as important as the health of our mayor pro tem. So why now? What's the threat now? Why does this have to come up now? Mayor Peel was sick for a couple of weeks, wasn't he? And I think all of us care about our mayor. So why does it come up now? I agree. I think this is something that could be a great thing, but I could see it being abused, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with it at all.
Any other comments? Any correction, motion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. All right, the next item is item F, Board of Community Support Grant, about $1,000. College at Alamo. Okay, who was it? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, the community support grant, be awarded to COA Foundation on behalf of the Men of Excellence and Distinction at the College of Albemarle. I've had conversations with the staff at COA, and I've had the chance to take a look at the program. Just recently, the students there in that program, they had the opportunity to go to Research Triangle Park and stay at the Sheraton Imperial Hotel, same hotel that I stayed in when I was in middle school. Great opportunities. This is an excellent program that is definitely serving underserved men of color. I just want to know what took so long. Why did it take so long for us to award them $1,000? Yeah, I say a measly $1,000, even though it's something that it didn't have. So, you know, why did it take so long for us to award them that $1,000? What happened?
I can answer that. I went out and met with Ms. Cole and really didn't know a whole lot about the program. And talked with her, and she was talking to me about the need they had for some funds. And this was well after we had already allocated the community support grant money. And I told her she had a little bit of money left and that she had an opportunity to apply for something. So she didn't know about it back when we did it the first time. And through the contact she had with me, that's why the application came about. Anything else on this? Mr. Brooks?
So, okay, I see it.
Okay. So we have a motion, or what do we do with it? Motion approved.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the award community support grant in the amount of $1,000 to the College of Albemarle Foundation on behalf of the Men of Excellence and Distinction in the Albemarle and adoption of required amendments.
Second. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the next item. I think it's workplace violence. Downtown's next. Workplace violence.
Mr. Mayor, you can scratch that, I put it in with investigation under 2-115 investigation, I wasn't going into that, but it's covered now, so we
Okay.
can scratch it.
Next item is J, the big grant. Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, I actually have to take it out, but I had to, based on what I recall from our previous discussions on the big, I didn't understand why this was coming to us. The write-up speaks of old language that we basically threw out at our last meeting on this, where we said, address safety and improve aesthetics. The focus is, it says the main focus of the DIG program is to focus on life safety, code conformance, ADA compliance, and repairs to electrical, plumbing, and mechanical systems, as well as necessary structural repairs. Council said, no, that's not what we wanted to do. We directed staff to change the program. So to come back in with this one had me confused. I don't understand why we're doing it. I thought that we basically told staff, don't give out any more money until we get the new rules in place. Now, if I'm spoken there, we're going to go ahead and give this out under the old rules, and I'll just sit back and be quiet. But I'm confused because I thought we were saying, let's not throw, quote, good money after bad. Let's save and redirect it toward grants that which we want to create jobs. So that's why I asked to bring it on. So I don't understand why we're giving this out.
With our discussion concerning the new guidelines for the DIG program, they were to go into effect July 1st, 2014, with the upcoming fiscal year. We still have 3 applications that are in the queue. One application, the Finance Committee rejected outright, so it did not appear in your agenda. We still have another one in the queue. This is one that the Finance Committee recommended be advanced for City Council action. Like I said, this application was done probably 60 days prior to the City Council changing the rules of the policy. Staff believes that we should take this grant application as if the old policy is in effect. We understand that the new policy is in place, but there's also provisions to make that July 1st, and that was the discussion at the city council.
That was our recollection. Go ahead.
Well, the thing missing from the memo is that the finance committee recommended. I don't see it in your memo. I'm missing something. That would have helped clarify. That being said, I make a motion to approve the downtown improvement grant application for Robert L. Brown.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Okay. Next is the middle school project.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The middle school project is very, very, very important project. And I have to, take the time to apply the manager for his work on that project. And I think it's gonna benefit the kids of our children. I say kids. I think it's gonna benefit the children in our community tremendously. I think the mold situation has been taken care of from the first floor, and HVAC units, and the HVAC units are currently being worked on. So all of that is great. But considering what's going on with the police department as far as load situation, I think that now is the time for us to explore looking at relocating the police department to the second floor of middle school. These men are putting their lives at risk every single day for our city, white and black. It doesn't matter the color, and they do not deserve to be anywhere where there's mold. We keep cleaning it up, and I know, and I've looked back and I read the issue about the public safety department. I'm not even talking about that because that's the county commissioners. I'm talking about our facilities. Our facilities have mold as well in the police department. We can't let them continue to work in that type of environment. They deserve better. We already could be paying them better. The least we can do is to look out for their health and their safety. So, I'm not saying we're gonna vote on it tonight, but we need to at least look at relocating our police department to that second floor while we have the opportunity. And I've spoken with the chairman of the county commissioners. I've spoken with the chairman of the county commissioners, Commissioner Dixon. He has no problem with it. He hasn't spoken with the rest of the board, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
How would the people that visit the police department get through 300 kids on the first floor to get there?
I think you probably, let me say this right here, excuse me before I go on. I want to say that this idea was brought to my attention by our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Hummer. I'm sorry, Ms. Hummer.
It included police and fire.
That's right, and she wants to include police and fire. I want to make that known. This idea was all Mayor Pro Tem Hummer, and it's a brilliant idea. Why go against it? And to address the mayor's question, a separate entrance. Just include a separate entrance. One for the police and fire and one for the children. That way they won't even have to cross hairs as far as the entrances.
Rich, I think you may want to provide a copy of the building facility study we did, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes. Stuart Cooper did one, yes.
And we looked at this issue, and the problem was then, and if you want to look at it, you can see it, the price tag is huge, $25 million
It was $7 million.
for just one department.
That was to do a complete retrofit of the entire middle school we use for public facilities.
All right, well, $7 million.
That was a complete middle school, including the first and second floor?
If we took both floors.
Both floors at the
All right,
time.
so the question's gonna be, yeah, it's good, you got the money, it's good. So you gotta go with the money. How much it costs to finance $3.5 million?
Your debt payment over a 10-year period would be $310
So you gotta raise taxes 3.5 cents. Okay.
Yes, I think in my discussions, the reason I brought it up to the city manager a while back was because I felt that a lot of the work that's being done on the first floor would automatically be extended to the second floor, electrical, plumbing, and things like that. So I thought it was an opportunity there. And there's so much parking in both our fire stations, even the latest one needs work done, and the police department, the whole building is a disgrace to have to work in all 3 floors, in my opinion, as far as space is concerned. Anybody that wants to see where Chief Mackey's office is, it's almost like a closet. But I think it warrants looking at how much debt we have coming off, at least during this budget session. So I would hope that it could come back for discussion, because it's a much needed thing.
Yes, I wish I could take credit for that, and just like Councilman King said, Mel Protein Homer, she brought the idea to me, and I thought it was a marvelous idea. And I mean, she laid out why, that's what I'm saying, we have people with good ideas that work together. We're not as dysfunctional as it seems all the time. But the reason why I thought it was a great idea when she ran it past me, and I talked to Councilman King about it, and totally in agreement. When I turn on the TV and I see a city employee having health issues because of mold, he wasn't on our TV channel, he was on Channel 10. When we talking about image, that's not good for our city. You know, and I thought that's why I was really impressed with the idea that Mel Protein came up and Councilman King talked to me and Lincoln about it. But I thought it was a great idea. And I think as far as Ms. Hill brought up a good point about the interest, but I think it would sure make our kids feel safe if they're in the building with the police department and the fire department. You got a safety issue there too, so I think it was a more than marvelous idea if we can make it happen. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Once again, it goes back to my saying that I say all the time. If you take care of your people take care of you. We can't put a price on these police officers' health. Every time we mention something like that, they mention a price. Well, we find money to do anything else we want to do. Let's find money to do what we need to do. That mold issue is a serious thing. People actually lose their lives behind mold and mess. So I think we need to revisit this thing. Instead of saying how much it's going to cost, let's look at saying, let's get it done. Because you got these police officers every day out there fighting, and for some of y'all don't know, there's mold and mildew do, it messing with your respiratory system. So if one of the police officers had to get out of their car and run behind somebody, and they're suffering from that mold and mildew, they're not going to run far behind them. So let's look at getting that done. That should be 100% full speed ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In essence of time, I just want to concur with everyone else. Upon my arrival as council, I had a tour of the police department, and it was just kind of shocking, the working conditions there. And then, of course, now with the concerns of mold, it's just very evident that regardless of what route we take, we definitely need to take some sort of route to provide better working conditions for workers.
Now, the middle school belongs to the county, and I think the middle school is a possible option that we might pursue. But I'd like to direct staff to investigate some of the vacant buildings that are downtown, which may cost less than $7 million, which may serve as facilities for both the police and the fire department personnel. So that's just one option I'd like to see pursued.
I don't think anybody would disagree that the police department building, keep from any more months. But sounds like what we hear consensus around directing staff to take a look at studying the possible spaces to relocate to that and give us an idea of what that was.
Yes, I think the land that goes with that building is so valuable, and there would be plenty of room for police cars and the fire department also, as well as everything else that's in that building. That's the thought too, because we have planning and everything else, building inspectors. But to a lot of people in Elizabeth City, that building is an historic building. And it's nice that at least the first floor is being saved, and, there was talk at one time of the county tearing it down, so that was scary. So there are a lot of people who would like to see it be turned into something really valuable.
I think if the county's already pretty much agreed to let us use the upper floor, it's a no-brainer. I mean, why would we go against that? I mean, because they already agreed to it, then that's what we gotta do. Let's just, and the $7 million was not just for the upper floor, if I'm not correct. It was not just for the upper floor. It was for
For the old school building itself.
correct, not just for the upper floor. I just want to get that clarified because people thinking it's just for the upper floor. It's not for the upper floor, it's for the entire. Thank you.
Let me just tell you, I was superintendent of schools and modeled that building first time. That building, right? And, yeah, we had a conversation earlier about the cemeteries. 10 years down the road, we need to make sure before we jump too fast on that building, city council doesn't have that same conversation.
They can't hear it.
That people aren't sitting here having the same conversation about getting in that middle school, because I think we would be ill-advised. And I think it's a great possibility, and I'm not opposed to it at all. But I can just tell you, we need to make sure we know what we're getting into when we go in there. So I think, having staff to study what it would take to move us in there or somewhere else, or look at what the process would be. What I mean. And I don't think anybody's supposed to move it anywhere.
I don't think we should ignore the possibility of building a building as well. There's lots of places and some buildings that need to come down right around where we are, around Elizabeth Street and those areas. Once that is done, sometimes it's less money and more technologically better to build a new building than to try and build an old building. Add that to the mix, I think that makes sense.
Right. So you have your direction?
Yes,
Okay.
we've had discussions internal about this already. I'm working with Chief Buffalo here. Just for the record, the mold in the police department has been abated, it's been cleaned up, it's been tested. Okay. So, and a lot of those issues within the police department were caused by individuals on the force making modifications to the air handling system that did not allow the free flow of air through the building, causing it to concentrate in two areas where we had issues. The rest of the building was fine. Those are two small areas that were effective, they were all clean.
Any other conversation around this? Okay, we'll move for comments and inquiries. Council member, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, I want to thank the public for showing up. I wish we had this kind of show every council meeting, because your thoughts is they are well received. When I first came in here, it looked like something right out of the civil rights movement in the 60s. I was ready to go out the back door. You know, but we had some really good comments. But don't just come up there when an issue is concerning someone that you like or someone that has done favors for you. You know, because my question is, where were all these people when we was voting to eliminate prayer before the meeting? Where was all these people when we had guys dying in the dumpsters and dying in the cargo spaces where they take luggage and buses? Where were all these people? You know, I'm looking out there. I wish y'all could see it like I'm looking at. I'm trying to, where was everybody? You know, one is not more important than the whole. You know, and where were all these people when the Delhi Advance wrote that we went from a tier 2 county to a tier 1 county? I mean, we have regressed at the bottom. Where were all these people? When Delhi Advance wrote that we lost 680 people last year, where was the crowd of people? You know, we got to be consistent. Don't tell council what they're doing wrong and you're embarrassed about them, because you got to understand is that I hear all kinds of stuff.